Hey guys, how are you? Long time no see. Okay, so we're gonna get started today. I'm very excited to be talking to you all tonight. Little late, go figure. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some serious stuff tonight. So I'm gonna let people hop on and we're going to really talk about this. I mean, this is some serious stuff, guys, and it can 100% affect our kids in so many ways. And I can't even tell you how serious it is. Okay. So we're going to talk about this for a little bit. So before I start, for those of you who are new to watching me, my name is Raven Woods, and I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks, the IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. It is truly my passion to help parents not go through what I did and to truly rock the IEP and get their children the services, accommodations, modifications that they need and honestly deserve. So those of you who are new, I want you to post a 1 below. Tell me who you are. Tell me your name. If you're not part of the group, head over there and join us. And if you are an oldie but goodie, post a 2 below. So if you're brand new, once, maybe twice seeing me, post a 1 below. If you are oldie but goodie, post a 2 below and say hello, okay? And if you're new, introduce yourself. Tell me who you are, okay? I want to get to know you. And if you're not part of the group, head over there and join us. That's where all the conversation happens. So, hey guys, how are you? Hi, Angelica and Jesse. All right. So we are going to get started. Can you guys hear me okay? We're going to talk about this email that I sent out. If you're not on my email list, I sent out a huge email. I also posted on the group and the page, but I posted also the sample letter that you can also get out, okay, to your senators and everything else. I gave you the links. I gave you everything. So if you're not on the email list, check it out on the page in the group. I posted it there as well. But I don't harass people on emails. I send out 1, maybe 2 a week, but it's always really good information. It's not crap and just overwhelming your email, because that drives me bonkers. So I promise I won't do that to you. And if I ever do, please call me out. Hey, Keela, how are you? So we're going to talk about this COVID-19 and how it's affecting us all, probably in different ways, but it's bottom line affecting our kids. You know, if you're anything like me, you've heard me bitch all week about how difficult it is having my daughter home. I know a lot of you have resorted to homeschooling and doing different things. You've posted on the group all these amazing ideas. But in all honesty, when Skylar, my daughter, is off her typical, normal, everyday schedule, she knows weekends, but her normal schedule, things go crazy. So I don't know if your kids are like that, but it's very difficult. So with that said, again, I see people hopping on. Post a 1 below if you're new. I want to get to know you. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie, and let me say hello. Okay. So let's talk about this. All right. So basically what went out is a pending stimulus package, which is basically a proposal that someone brought to the table. All right. And this is at Congress. Okay. This is, kind of the first step before it goes to the Senate. And it's not good. I can't even believe that this is even being discussed. It pisses me off to no end that we're dealing with people bringing up in Congress to pass, a statute basically saying that our kids basically it's saying that we cannot go after the school if our children regress. Okay. So we're off all this time, say our kids regress or they get back to school and things are just not good. Their either education is impacted or their behavior is impacted or both, for goodness sake. And then we're stuck in this, issue of not being able to fight. So we have this time off, and I've always told you guys, don't fight now because there's nothing to fight about. We can't control what we can't control. We can't control this virus. We can't control this virus spreading. We'd rather keep our kids safe than put them in school and them not be safe, right? So I want you guys to not even bother fighting that. Hey, Tara. But where you can fight, and what I've been very specific on, is when you go back into the school, when your child goes back into school, they will take, a week, 2, whatever, to get acclimated again, if school even starts back up this year. And then we'll start seeing what happens, right? So we'll see, have they regressed? Have they not regressed? Is their behavior worse because when they already had behavior issues, is it worse because of this time off? All right. And so basically what's happening here, and I'll read it and I will quote, as part of Congress's response to COVID-19 outbreak, Chairman Lamar Alexander, he is a Republican in Tennessee, has proposed to include a provision in the pending stimulus bill that would give the Secretary of Education authority to approve state waiver requests for any statutory and or regulatory requirement of the Individuals with Disabilities Act idea for 1 year. Are you freaking kidding me? And extensions may also apply. So that means 1+ years is really what that means. I mean, this is disgusting. Then it says, this jeopardizes all children's rights to child find, to FAPE, and IEPs. All procedural safeguards, reevaluations, related services, and accommodations, and more than that. That's what it's doing. It's saying for a year plus, our kids don't matter. That's what it's saying. All right. So that's why I sent this email out and I said, you guys need to take action now. We had, this conversation, with, I'm on committees with COPA, okay, because I'm an advocate. And I didn't want to go into it. It was bad. It should not be like this. It should not. There's lots of conversation going on about this. I know parents have some access to COPA stuff, but not as much as, advocates and attorneys do. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest. But this is bad. I cannot tell you how bad this is. And I know a lot of people, especially on my group, have asked, what does this mean? What does that mean for us? And what it means for you is we are freaking screwed if this goes through, period. Actually, our kids are screwed. Completely screwed. Effed up. Big time. Just keeping it real. All right. So you guys need to, that's why I put in the email, send your senator an email today. Okay. Phone calls aren't going to be answered. I gave you the link to find who your senator is, find your representative, and make sure you get the best link and PM me if you need a sample draft. And that's what I put on the page and on the group because I didn't want to, it was long. All right. So in the email, if you're on my email list, I gave everybody a draft email. Okay. Dear Senator, blah, blah, blah. And I gave you everything that you needed to put in. Literally, you don't have to do anything unless you wanted to add a little bit of a story, which I always include a story. Okay. Stories are so important. Please consider this because I would really appreciate your consideration on this matter because my child with autism, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Don't go into a pity party. Don't go into, writing a book, but just write something substantial in a paragraph. My child has autism and I cannot tell you how detrimental a change in his or her, whatever, schedule is. I understand this is completely out of our control, and I am sitting back and letting things ride because I understand that it's not within our control, but just thinking in future how much this is going to impact my son or daughter in A, B, C ways. Okay, name 3 different things, okay, of how it's going to impact your child. And if this took place, what would happen? Okay, that's what's important. Take my draft and then give your paragraph or 2 paragraphs, one of your story, what your child has, why this is important to you. And then the second paragraph you need to add on your own is, with this gap, how is it going to impact your child in future? Okay. And that's so important. All right. So basically you're going to write that, you're going to put what I wrote, copy and paste, put the 2 paragraphs that are about you and your story, and that's it. So keep it short and simple. 2 paragraphs, one about your child. This is my child. My child has autism, Down syndrome, ADHD, whatever, PTSD, etc. This is what we've been going through. All right. Real quick, 4 or 5 sentences. All right. And like, think really hard of how to use impactful words in that paragraph. And then the second paragraph is all about the impacted, of how your child's going to be impacted throughout the year if this actually takes place. All right. So screw the Republican in Tennessee. I'm going to say that out loud on Facebook to everybody. He can literally kiss my ass. All right. So that's how I feel about it. So this Chairman Lamar Alexander, whatever, the Republican from Tennessee, has no respect for me. Like, no respect. I have no respect for him, I guess is what I'm saying. Just disgusting, to even think about proposing such a thing. Maybe it's because he knows that us parents who advocate for our kids are going to, move forward in advocating for our kids, and this is going to impact them in a major way. But why put such a law in place that would impact them even more? I mean, parents it's going to be a complete uproar, for parents who really get what this freaking means. I mean, it's a big deal. So if you're not understanding, please PM me or post your questions here, because this is like huge deal, big deal, like really big deal in the special education world and IEP world. Okay. When I say big deal, I mean big, big, big deal. Like Pretty Woman, how she said big deal, big mistake, this is big, big deal. All right. I can't even tell you how big of a deal this is. Okay. I sent it in an email, Michelle. So the post of what's going on is on the group and page, but everybody who's on my email list got a draft letter. And then all you have to do is add 2 paragraphs, one about your child, of they have such and such disability, this is how they're impacted. And then, and this is how their education is impacted. And then the second paragraph is all about how, if this went through, how it's going to affect you. All right. Does that make sense? So those are the 2 paragraphs. One's about your child and what the disability is, and, how the disability is affected in the educational setting, how education is affected. And then the second one is about how, if this passed, it would affect you in the future, your child in the future, this 1+ years. Because it says, specifically, it says right here, I have it in front of me. Actually, I'll flip my screen and show you guys, because this is the email I sent out. All right, so let me see if I can make it bigger. Can you guys see? Let me make it bigger. Can you guys see it? Is it good? Can you guys? Oh, there we go. Ha! All right, so here's the email that I sent. All right, so I'm going to go up. This actually came to me, so I get a copy of all my emails. Okay. Oh, just flipped on me. All right, here we go. Okay. So basically, this is the main part right here. All right, if you can see my cursor, and then the take action now. All right, so that's what it's about. And if you can see, it says, this jeopardizes all children's rights. Uh-oh, what happened? Okay. Oh my gosh, I don't know why it keeps doing that. All right. This jeopardizes all children's rights to child find, a free appropriate public education, FAPE, individualized education program, your IEP, all procedural safeguards, reevaluations, related services and accommodations, and more. This is crazy. So we cannot allow this to pass. We just can't, guys. All right. And then I gave you information here of who you, like how you find your representative, your senator, etc. All right. And then this is the draft email right here. All right. So basically, that's what you say, all right? And what you'll do is at the bottom, all right, after please support the student with disabilities and their families, blah, 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 you'll say, I'd like to add a little bit about us. And then that's when you'll start your first paragraph about your child. And my son Sam has autism, and he is 11 years old, and his autism impacts his education. With a lot of behavior issues where he needs to have ABA therapy, and he's in PT and speech, and he's having to have a one-on-one because his behaviors can't keep under control, whatever it is you want to say, whatever your story is, right? And then the second paragraph you're going to add is how, if this goes into play, this is how it would affect Sam. All right. So it's saying, hey, this is a real person here, Sam. And then it's saying, this is how, if this goes through, it would affect Sam. And then you want to add at least 3 to 5 different things it would affect. Put no emotion into it, just your story, the facts. This is who my son is. This is what he's diagnosed with. This is how his education is impacted because of his disability. Second paragraph is solely about how, if this goes into play for 1+ years, this is how my son is going to be affected. Okay? Make it impactful. Use big words, things that I do. I'm not genius, as educated as I may be. It doesn't matter. I still like to look up words. Okay? I like Grammarly. I like other things. But if I think of a word, just hypothetically say horrible. Okay? We all say horrible. It's horrible, right? Well, I'll Google, or I'll put into a program that I have horrible, and I'll say a better word for horrible, So horrific is a big word, that takes the place of horrible, but it sounds more impactful. Does that make sense? So use words like that. All right. So after you write those 2 paragraphs, look at your words, and then go and find bigger, better words, because those impactful words will make a lot of difference. Okay? So let's flip this back around. So is there anybody that has questions about this that, maybe you don't understand it fully, or why it came about, or anything like that? What's even crazier is how it's going to affect so many children. I mean, on here it says it's over 7 million children rely on IDEA. And it's probably more than that, guys. I mean, shoot, autism itself is 1 in 55 born today. So this is nuts. So I don't have content tonight. I know Thursday's content night, but this is too important to ignore. And it's too important for me not to come live and tell you guys how this is going to affect you. And it will affect your child for years to come. So all of next year and then some, because you'll have to get all that back. And that I don't have time to do. My daughter's going into high school. So not okay at all. So this is a big deal. And if you guys have questions, I'm here to answer. But I need you to understand how big a deal this is. This is way past this stupid virus. Okay. If I get the virus, I'll get the virus. I would take the virus and then some over this passing. Okay. This is bad. This is that bad. Okay. So we need to stop it now and squash it now. And the more people that write, the better. So if you have friends, you have family members, you have people that you know in the community, you literally cut this out for them and paste it into their emails. Okay? That's it. That's all they have to do. And the more people, if we come together, and the more people that can get this email out to their local senator, the better. Okay? Okay. All right. So, hi, Michelle and Renee. Well, if you're not on my email list, you wouldn't have gotten the email. And some of the emails sometimes go to promotions and stuff. I don't know why it does that. Hi, Richard. How are you? Cynthia, welcome. Yeah, they will be screwed. You're absolutely right. Hey, Stephanie. How are ya? And Michelle, are you on my email list? If you're not on my email list, PM me your email and I'll have my assistant add you tomorrow. Okay? And I will, if we add you tomorrow, like if you give me your email, I'll have her personally email you guys this email. Okay. I can't believe they can even think about doing something. Yeah, I agree, Tara. I mean, when I saw it come across my text, like I was floored. And I noticed other people posted it, but it wasn't the whole thing. So if you noticed, I did delete them because it wasn't the whole picture. So I wanted to add the whole picture for you guys. Crystal, how did this even come up? They don't think of the... It's one of those things, if you don't have a child with a disability, you don't see it every day. I get it and I don't, but that's where we have to be the ones to advocate, and we have to put it in their face. We have to say, hey, even, one thing that I always do if I'm sending something that's impactful regarding Skylar, like this, because I've done this a lot. I've actually gone to talk to my local, congressman and senator and written them many times. And one thing I always do is add her picture. A picture says 1,000 words. And a picture is very impactful. Years ago, my two oldest are grown. I went through a divorce. And when you go through custody issues or you go through a divorce, one thing that's very important that I realized in showing the judge was pictures. And all I can say is pictures work. When someone sees a picture, they can see a story. They can see a human being. They can relate. When they see an email, we all know it's just words sometimes, Sometimes we read it, sometimes we don't, right? So, which is why I only send 1, maybe 2 emails a week, because I get it. I don't like reading 50 million emails. But, if I have somebody that I watch and follow, and they send me 2 emails, then I'll read them because there's someone I like and follow, But as far as this, I think it's important to add a picture, not a family picture, a picture of your child with a disability. Okay? Just a suggestion. So, hi, Jennifer. How are you? What is 3? You're not a 3. You're a 2. Post a 1 below if you're new. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. 1 below if you're new. 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. I want to get to know you. And if you're an oldie but goodie, you guys know better. But yeah, so... yeah, you'll have to go and rewatch this, Jennifer, because I just went over this whole email that I sent out to everybody today, and it's a huge, huge deal. So you better go back and watch this because it's a big deal, big deal. And if you are not on my email list, you can PM me and I will have my assistant put you on my email list and get this to you immediately tomorrow. Okay? So Keela, Jemiah Winters, Bernie Vega, hi, how are you? I thought it was reprieved. It's still out there right now. So it would be nice for it to. Let me see. Just make sure. No, it has not. So, yeah, no, it's very much in play. So, yeah. Yeah, it hasn't. I'm sorry. Not yet. So, like, none of us have received any alerts yet. But I'll go on the website real quick for you. Bernie, just to make sure. That would be nice if it was, right? But I don't think it would that fast. Because really, that's only putting it on hold. And I'm pretty sure that yeah, I even clicked that link that you showed me, and it has not. Still in play. Completely. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It says here, I'll read it to you. Like the link you just posted, too. All right. So it says, right now in the halls Congress of our children's rights are at grave risk. Raise your voices in opposition and share with everyone you know to do the same. Like that link you just posted, Bernie. That's what I'm reading from. And we would have gotten an email saying, oh, it's on hold or whatever. All right. Our information came from the same trusted senator. We stand by this proposal was floated. We are heartened to hear that it has been, that it's pulled back. Yeah, it's been pulled back, but it's still in play. Does that make sense? It's just not going to go before immediately. Does that make sense? So it's not on hold. It's just been pulled back to behind some other bills and things that are going to be put in place. Comment and let me know you understand what I'm saying here. I want to make sure you understand. Does that make sense? Okay. So what it means when it says pulled back, it means so for example, if Congress has to look at 20 things, which is so much more than that. So say they have to look at 20 things, all right? And say this one was up in the top 5. It's now been pulled back to in the back. All right, so it's not on hold. It would say it's been thrown out. It would say it's on hold. It would say they're considering dropping it, using those types of words. But pulled back is simply to the back of the list. All right, which is a good thing, but it's still on the list. They're still going to see it. They're still going to view it. They're still going to vote on it. All that kind of stuff. All that does is give us more time to advocate and speak up, which is more than likely why it's been pulled back into the back of the line. Okay? Does everybody understand that? But let me finish reading it to you. I'll read it to you. All right, so it says, our information came from a very trusted senior Senate staffer, and we stand by that this proposal was floated. We are heartened to hear that it's been pulled back. This may be temporary reprieve. We don't know, but we are not willing to take that chance. Our stance is that now is the time to embrace ideas, required partnership, to innovate, individualize, and if needed, to abandon our kids or for districts to abdicate responsibility. We continue to ask people to raise their voice to be sure elected officials know we will protect rights. And it goes into more, which thank you for posting that because that's great. All right, so it still says take action now, make sure you do what you're supposed to do, and the only thing that's been changed is it's been moved to the back of the line, and we'll see, but none of us we've all been advised to take it as it is. Until it's gone, it's not on the table anymore. It's still in play. Just because something's held back for a minute, which is because it's a touchy subject and they don't want parents to flip shit right now. That's basically it. All right. So they're calming people down because it's already been an uproar today. I mean, we're dealing with a virus. No one gives a shit about the virus once we heard this, to be quite honest. All right. The virus is the virus. Okay. This is way more important. And I'll be very honest with you because this, I mean, unless obviously like you're my mother's age is a little bit dangerous when it comes to the virus, or little babies. So obviously keep yourself safe. I mean, that's what we're all doing. But this will impact us for years, years. So, most of us COPA advocates and attorneys, we don't ignore something put on the table, because it's going to be put on the table, then it's a threat. And you have to take it seriously, and that's when you have to take action. All right? It's still there. It still exists. It's still in play. It's just not in the very front anymore. And the reason for that is because special needs parents can be crazy. And when that happened today, we, hi, I'm new here. What's going on? I do not understand. When we react, our reactions as parents of special needs children are a lot more intensive than the norm. Do you agree? We have a lot of stuff we deal with our kids, and we have a lot of emotion behind our actions. And shoot, I have 2 other children, and I'm a mama bear, but you mess with Skylar and it's done, and I'm sure all of you feel that way. And so you hear something like this and you're just like, I mean, I didn't even know what to say at first. I started emailing all my advocate friends and even some of our attorney friends. And I'm just like, are you shitting me? Is this really for real? Is this really happening? Like, what is this Republican? And I'm not even going to go into politics, Republican, Democrat, whatever. That's not what this is about. But I want to punch this Republican in the face. I just do. I mean, from Tennessee, for God's sake. And I love Tennessee. But I don't know how somebody could even bring this to the table. I really don't. I think that's a disgusting human being. And I have no problem saying that. And if anybody disagrees with me, then you can hop off. But yeah, I'm a huge advocate for children with special needs, and it disgusts me when somebody wants to take away our rights or their rights because of what reason? I mean, there's no reason to back that up unless they're trying to back up the educational system that's already many times failing our children. So I'm not saying always, I'm just saying many times. And to take away a child's right to continue to learn and not have to make up any type of, Raven, do you have something public that we can share on our own Facebook page to get the word? Yeah, you can just copy and paste this. Go to the group or the page and just copy and paste it. Or share it, whatever. Did you see it on the group and here on the page? So yeah, share it. Have people write if you want. Like I said, if you got the email, copy and paste that, Tara, because that has the and if you can email people, because that has the draft. And Lisa, I'm not ignoring you. Welcome. We are talking about, and I shared my screen a little while ago, the announcement today by basically telling us that a congressman or chairman from Tennessee has proposed to include a provision basically allowing the educational system for a year and then some to basically jeopardize our children's right to child find, to FAPE, to their IEPs, to all procedural safeguards, to reevaluations, to related services, accommodations, and more. So basically, the proposal from him is, hey, because of everything that's going on with this virus, schools are going to really be bombarded with parents who have children with special needs and their regression and everything that goes on with our children missing school and not having services and supports. Well, basically, he's saying and proposing, okay, so you don't have to follow the IEPs, you don't have to do reevaluations and all these types of things, and add more accommodations, modifications, this, that, and the other, because of this gap. Basically it's saying you don't have to offer compensatory services. and you don't have to provide, it can't be used against you, say, in due process or mediation, that you didn't provide FAPE, which is wrong. And like I've said, I've been very strict in my own self, in how I come across online, because I don't like to give a lot of opinions. And when I do, I make sure I'm very verbal on how I feel. But factually, you guys need to back off right now. So if you're bombarding your school system, I sent 2 emails today. That's the first time I sent emails. All right. Don't bombard your school system. They're going to come out with something more than likely by next week. All right. Whether it be online education, whatever. But as far as special needs children, they're probably trying to figure it all out. And they're going to have to, especially if they offer online schooling or whatever it is for children with non-disabilities. Okay. So that's going to happen. All right. How it's going to happen, none of us know. All right. We can't be in their heads, where, and what I've always said is where your fight can come in is once your children are back in school, all right, and 2-3 weeks have gone by, they've acclimated and gotten back into routine. And when that happens and you see regression either with behavior, regression with academics, or regression with both, that's where your rights kick in and you can go after ESY, which is coming up, or you can go after other things, okay? And this guy is proposing that be taken away from us. Does that make sense, Lisa? Jennifer. And after this, Tara, I'm going live on the course group. You were the reason I was able to bring out my mama bear before. Good. I'm so happy. Jesse says, I'm so pissed right now. This is not right. Our children yeah, I agree. You're welcome, Lisa. So basically I said I sent out an email today with a draft email for you. Well, the first part of the email was explaining everything. And then the second part was a draft email where I gave you a link. You can find out who your senator is and write this email. And then I said, basically, I want you to add 2 more paragraphs to the email. The first paragraph is going to be about your child. So what I said, I don't know why I put these names, but I said, Mr. Senator, whatever the name is, here's a picture, always add a picture of just your child. Here's a picture of my son, Sam. My son, Sam, has autism. His autism affects him in the educational setting by 1, 2, 3, whatever the reasons are. All right. I wanted you to see his picture and I wanted you to see who he was so that you knew that I was talking about someone super special to me and somebody who is going to make a difference in this world in somebody's life. Second paragraph, you're going to say, if this took place and moved forward, okay, my child, Sam, would be, always say a name. Always say a name. My child is nobody. Sam is somebody. Okay? Remember that. Whenever you write an email, always say the name. Don't say my child. Okay? Everybody asks, like, how do you rate these impactful? Sometimes you have to think about how the other person's going to interpret everything. When you say names, show pictures, it's super impactful because it is talking about somebody. Where child is very kind of general, and so people aren't putting a face to that child, but they're putting a face to Sam because you added a picture. So do you see, like people, like when a senator gets that and sees it, that's going to be more impactful than if you said, my child didn't put a picture. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So you're welcome, Leslie. Welcome. Are you new? I think I've seen you a couple times before, right? Pam, they told me I would hear something from my daughter's IEP teacher on the 30th of this month about her work. Good. That's great. I hope you do. That would be awesome. Shauna says our state is already making preparations for not being back at school until possibly next fall. Not that they know yet, but are preparing. I would be very surprised if we went back this year. Well, welcome, Leslie. Welcome. Mom, hey, girl.
I'm home.
Okay.
I'm going to bed right now.
You're going right now? Yeah, it's 9:42, huh? Okay, come. Did you finish your crossword? Good night. What time are you sleeping till in the morning? What time?
8:30.
No, not 8:30. Do 9.
9 o'clock.
Okay, 9 works.
8:50.
No, not 8:50. 9. Okay? Okay. You're welcome. So does anybody else have any more questions? Yeah, I had to talk about this instead of content night. This is way too important. And I appreciate you, Bernie, because that was great. I'm glad you posted that. And I'm glad I was able to explain that. I just don't want to give people false hope. That's all. You know? It would be wonderful if it just went away. You're welcome, Crystal. But yeah, you have to take it seriously. I don't care if it was put in the back of the line. All right. You have to take it seriously. You never know, especially with politics, how things are going to change or when they're going to change. The fact that this was even brought up in the first place is scary as hell. So please take it seriously. Adrella says, my son's teacher sent work home for him to do for the next 2 weeks. That's great. My daughter wouldn't do it. I mean, if they she doesn't work like that, you know? Like, she does strict ABA therapy through the day. So, like, sending her home with worksheets would not do her justice. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So, I'm looking into Khan Academy. I'll have to post that. It's called, hold on, I'll tell you. There's a couple different ones I'm looking into, and I'll post them when I kind of have an idea. It is called Khan Academy, KHAN Academy.org. And it's really interesting. I mean, it has a lot of really good reviews. Really good. Yeah, just really good reviews. And it's online, and you guys should go on to it and check it out. I'll post some things on it. This one, and there's one other that I like. And what's really cool is that it's these online programs, but they're fun and easy. Like, even for a child with special needs, if you're working with them as well. But fun, animated, if you have a younger child, and it will help you as well. So I need that, you know, for Skylar. So I really like it. And they have where you can do sample lessons to see what it's like. So that's something I'm thinking about doing. And if you want to know my secret, it's something you can get the school system to pay for. Okay, good. Yeah, so because school's out and they're doing online programs for typical children, and this was actually going to be a subject I talked about next week. But yeah, you can get the school system to pay for a program like this, because more than likely they're going to be offering it to gen ed kids with non-disabilities. So more to come on that. Another subject, if you guys have questions, keep posting them. I do want to tell you another big subject I'm going to be talking about very soon is dyslexia. Um, I'm actually in the process of doing a ton more research. I think you guys are going to be. I want you to be excited if this is something your child's struggling with at all. Um, it's going to be a great lesson. And I'm thinking about, do I want to go live? Do I want to do a webinar? It'll probably be a live, but I'll announce it as an event. And I will go live and I will let you guys know in advance. It's going to be pretty in depth in reference to dyslexia, why school systems don't want to put it into the IEP, and they'll put it under other, and how you can get it into your IEP because it is a disability. So if they're going to put autism or Down syndrome or something else in the IEP, they better put dyslexia in the IEP if that's what your child's diagnosed with. And that's something my daughter's going through. And I think it's a really, really important topic. So I'm excited to talk about that pretty soon coming up. I will put out a event on it. I know there's lots of children out there who are really struggling with dyslexia. So if that's something your child's struggling with, I encourage you to keep in touch, and I will let you know when I'm going to be going live and doing that training. I'm actually going to be doing a training. I'll have some sort of visuals for you, and I think it'll be enlightening, and help you to visualize. I'm really big on visualization, which, believe it or not, is the number one thing that every child has to learn first in reading. And it's so many times skipped over. So what I have learned so far, and in talking with Linda Mood Bell, you can look them up, Linda Mood Bell. They're all over the United States. So their reviews are insane. They're great. And it's interesting how the first step in reading is all about that child learning to visualize what's going on. And once they can visualize, they can then eventually get to comprehension. But it's much harder to comprehend something that you can't visualize. That was something I learned recently. And I got it just like that because I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. I'm obsessed with Audible. And I think I've said this before where if, like when I listen to Audible, do you guys listen to Audible? I'll listen to a book, okay? And I'm always picturing stuff. So if they're somewhere, I'm picturing it. I'm picturing their faces. I'm picturing all kinds of stuff, And it helps me process. So it's the same thing with our kids. And honestly, I'm so excited to have learned that. So I'm excited to share a bunch of stuff with you guys. So does anybody else have any questions in reference to how our IDEA rights could possibly be waived by Congress as part of the COVID-19 pending stimulus package? All right. If you do, post them below. I'll stay on here maybe another 5-10 minutes and answer any questions. I will also PM me like now, honestly. If you want me to put your email onto my email list so that you guys can get my emails each week. Typically, it's like 2 emails a week. So I'm not going to bombard you. I promise. You'll actually get free videos and trainings and stuff like that. I mean, so I only send stuff of substance. I don't send crap. And yeah. So, what else was I going to say to you guys? I'm going to go live tomorrow over on the group. So if you're not part of the group and you're new on here, like Andrella and Lisa and who else? Who else is new? Tell me. So many of you. Goodness. So if you guys aren't part of the group, please join. It's where everybody communicates with each other. And, people don't talk as much here on the page as, oh my gosh, the group, there's questions all the time. So it's where people feel safer too, being part of a private group. So join us. We'd love to have you. And yeah, so if you want this email in reference here, I'll flip it over one more time. All right, all right, so your rights could be, pretty much taken away. It's a big deal. All right, but as you can see down here, I give you a sample draft email, and all you do is add 2 more paragraphs with, like I said, about your child. My child Sam has autism, blah, blah, blah. This is how his autism is affected in the educational setting. And then the next one is about how if this was passed by Congress, then Sam would have and be impacted in this many ways. All right. And then put a picture and send it. And if you can see this link, that's how you find who your senator is. All right. If you don't know or don't know their email, but it's pretty simple. All right. So PM me if you want that information. Jesse says, I can't wait because I know a family who has a little boy who has dyslexia and he gets his work counted wrong all the time. Aw, poor thing. All right, so I'm going to flip this back around. All right, so it looks like you guys are done asking questions. So I'm going to hop off here. I have my course private group that I have to go and I answer all their questions there. So I'm going to be on a little while with them. So I will talk to you guys soon, and please PM me if you want to go on my email list. And if there's any of you guys out there that want to set up a discovery call with me that is free, please let me know and I can post that below for you. Okay? It was good to meet some of you newbies, and again, join the group so you can catch me live over there. I do Q&As over there as well. So I will talk to you guys soon. Make sure that you stay in touch, and know I'm going live pretty much every day, and keeping you guys updated, and let's just do our due diligence and be proactive and get everything to our senators as quickly as possible. We want to bombard him so much that this is something that he just does not do, or any of them do, because we won't vote for him ever again. Basically, you have to make your point. You have to stand out. You have to be impactful and definitely be proactive in this, because if this happened, it would be just devastating. Okay? So have a good night. I will talk to you guys soon, and join the group and let me know if you want to do a discovery call. Take care. Bye.